This is TransAfricaRadio.
It's out there. People know that it's out there. And I think that can really count a lot. I mean, like in this country, we don't really have the money, to market it like really.
Who holds the money? Who has the money? Where does the money come from?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't really answer that. I don't have it, that's for sure.
Because for me, it's ridiculous, Andrew, that we've got a story like Dora's piece that exists, that has been shot already. You know, Khabonina has been paid and everything is done. And we've got this wonderful product, and no one is coming in and saying, I'll put the 5 million rand up for marketing. I'll put the 10 million rand up for marketing. And remember, we were saying earlier off air that, you know, for me, I still don't understand how, you know, people aren't putting the money into movies when Denzel Washington, the script is written. They pay an Andrew to write the script, to do the screenwriting. I
would gladly write Denzel Washington's next movie.
Listen,
if he's
Denzel.
Listening, Denzel.
Again, I got a direct
I'm available.
line. I will chat to him. I will tweet him when we get off air. But again, you know, you've got the talent, you've got it right, and you will write fully for someone. And in Hollywood, it happens. They'll say, you know, the male lead is Denzel Washington, the female lead is Tandy Newton, and they go there. And Danny says, no, I'm busy. I can't do it. Then there's a rewrite, and they take it to.
Well, it's not a rewrite. I mean, then you've got to go and find the money, because if you don't have.
Yeah.
If you don't have Denzel, then you don't have the money.
Exactly. And for me, it's incredulous that we don't then have that system, because we can tell. It's the same thing with fashion. This industry, how many people do you hire to make a movie?
Yeah, but we don't have the people who can actually open a movie like the way that Denzel can.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. I mean, that's why we had Idris Elba playing Nelson Mandela. I'm not saying that he did a good or a bad job. All I'm saying is that is why he was there, you know, because I mean, like, we can't put that kind of star power up on screen at the moment. We don't have anybody.
And does that translate into the awards? Does the star power on screen?
Well, awards, I think you've got to take with a pinch of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't make movies for awards.
Yeah.
That's a sweetener, you know. That's just something that happens on the side. I'm like, you don't make movies for awards. If you do make movies for awards, then you must stop making movies.
Make music videos, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Music videos is probably.
No, but you've also got to do it because you like making
music videos.
Those kind of videos, yes.
You've done. You not only do you do the screenwriting, but you also are an author.
Yes.
And when I read your bio earlier on, I said, you know, you've written and produced and directed, so you know the disciplines already.
Yes.
Okay. Before we get into your other works, if I were to hand you an unlimited budget, I'll give you the Denzel Washington credit card. Who would you want to cast in a story? Complete carte blanche, and you had all the money in the world. What would be the screenplay to the movie of Andrew Herold?
Okay, well, it would depend on the screenplay. I mean, like, I probably haven't written it.
Mm-hmm.
Idris Elba, I would love to have. I'm in a movie that I have written, but I don't know whether that could happen. I mean, like, it depends on his
availability.
Yes.
Okay. We can organize that
and
too.
And our pocket.
We can do that too, because now we're down to Idris Elba. We've got Denzel Washington.
I love Denzel.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We've got to do a lot of work to do.
And Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Of course.
Oscar winners only.
Of course.
Jeez, Andrew, you're hard to please.
Yes, very hard.
Top tier stuff only.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you produced, you've directed, you've written the screenplay for The Company You Keep. Tell me more about The Company You Keep, because you said that was the first movie that you've ever written that was turned into a movie.
Okay, well, The Company You Keep is something that we are not trying to forget, but it was our beginner movie.
Maiden, yeah.
Yeah. Like my script was rewritten by Americans.
Okay.
Like, who came on board. Like, in places I think they improved it, in places not so much.
Okay.
But the movie was what it was.
Okay.
Like, I don't think that we are going to kind of look back on it and say, well, that was our best work.
Okay.
But at the time, it was what it was.
And also, in a creative space, that's what happens. You need to hone the craft and grow it for you to get to a place where, as I say to you again, I'm quite unhappy that the trailer for Dora's piece was so short. You could have given me an extra hour on that, and it takes a while for you to get to that point.
Yeah, but I can tell you something about the company you keep.
Yeah.
There was an actress who was in the company you keep, and her name is Maria Conchita Alonso.
Okay.
And she's been in a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. She was in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
And she's done quite a lot of big Hollywood movies. And there's one scene, she plays like a madam in a brothel.
Okay.
And she's walking down the stairs. And she was actually saying the words that I wrote, one day, on my pad, And those were the words that I wrote, and I thought, oh my God, she is actually saying the words that I wrote.
Coming to what is that feeling like when you see the product that you've labored on? Because I said to you earlier on that for me it's incredible because you create from nothing.
Yes.
And then there you see, the scene that you've envisaged, and you see this woman coming down as being cast.
Yes.
And then these words are given life literally.
Yes, it's quite something, I don't think you can ever have it again. But it's just, you think, oh my God, this actress is actually saying the words that I wrote one evening on my pad, and they're exactly the same as they were then.
And then now they've just got this life of their own, and they continue that way. So when you then did the company keep, then we had Dora's piece that came through, but you're also an author.
Yes, I am. I've written, I've published a novel. I won't say how many novels I've written which haven't
been published.
Yeah.
But so Gabriel's Apology.
In my past, yes.
Gabriel's Apology.
Yes.
Came through. What's the story of Gabriel?
It's basically a satire about a president who is just north of our border. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying exactly.
Yeah, but I can kind of find it. Yeah.
Yes, and he comes across the border as a refugee after there's been a coup in his country.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Soweto. People think that he's dead, but he's basically
Can
dead.
you imagine? Can you imagine said president who won't name living in Soweto?
Yes, but his middle name is Gabriel, and so you can name him. Everybody knows who he is.
Gabriel's Apology. Okay, so we can get that in all good stores.
No, I'm afraid not. But it will be available again soon.
What's the next book that's captivating your mind?
Okay, well, I've written 2 other books that I'm trying to get out there.
Okay.
And I can't really say too much about it. But one is a Christmas story that I'm hoping to publish this Christmas.
Please turn Gabriel's Apology into a movie.
My father keeps on saying that I should do that, but I think I'm too close to it. I've thought about it, but I'm too close to it. I'm thinking, but do I want to revisit that?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for someone like Steven Spielberg to call me up and say, listen, we want to make a movie of Gabriel.
Well, we've sent out for 3 requests already. So let's add Steven Spielberg.
Yes, absolutely. Even Spike Lee, I don't mind. Okay, well, I've written another script which I want to produce. In fact, I've got a couple that I want to do. And then I'm writing another couple of scripts on commission. So
okay.
And so hopefully they should be out.
How is the career of a screenwriter? Is it a sustainable one? Not many people know about it as a career. We only see it when we see the sort of the credits roll, and no one's really sure what happens. But can you sustain yourself?
Well, if you're writing for the soapies, I think you can sustain.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to concentrate on movies at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure. It's still early days for me.
Okay.
As a full-time writer. But I'm hoping it is. If I get a couple more commissions, who knows?
Yeah.
I can put some food in the fridge, and that's basically it. Yeah.
How do we get hold of you? How do we send you those com scripts to write?
Well, on email, you can get me on aherold56@gmail.com.
So aherold56 at gmail.com. Aherold, A for Andrew. Herold, spelled with an A, right? Not with
E.
With an E.
Herold.
Yes, not with an A. Yes. So check it over there. Aherold56 on at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yes, so I look forward to seeing many, and I know about screenwriting, and also those emails when they come through, I will forward them to you from Mr. Spielberg and Mr. Lee.
Yes, please do.
Also with Mr. Washington and
yes,
also
yes,
all of them. But I think for me, the wonderful thing, Andrew, is just beyond our conversation is the fact that you've been able to tell the stories of Africa. It is very important for me that on a broader scale of things, that as much as we try and put some food on the table and to exercise our talents and reach our highest potentials, that we're taking a whole industry with us and a whole people with us.
Absolutely.
And the wonderful thing about writers, I think, and this has just been formed in the last hour chatting to you, is the fact that you are the beginning of telling our stories. You put together this make-believe world that also can be an escape for us. It is a wonderful skill, and I wish you all the best in the world. But for you to continue creating and continue writing, because there's a kid out there who wants to do this business, a kid out there who has stories, rattling in his head and doesn't know what to do with them. And sometimes you think you have to be an author, but not only do you need to be an author, but there's so many other avenues. And I look forward to you in 15 years' time for you writing a book about your journey to get to where you are right now, because I think entrusting you with stories is such an important thing. It's a heavy charge to hand to someone, and I think you're doing it with absolute panache. So I look forward to it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very gratifying.
Herold56 at gmail.com. That's where you can catch him.
This is TransAfrica Radio.